welcome back to the channel. Tony here. So today we're installing the DCT foot shifter right here. So, you know, that's going to be, it's something that most people might think is a luxury or a trinket or something that's just kind of neat to do with the DCT. But in my case, and for probably other people too, I have limited use of my left hand due to I had bicep tendon surgery, and then I had some complications. So I don't have use of my left hand as far as being able to control the paddle shifting. I have grip, so I can hold on. I have a strong arm and everything, but I just can't. I don't have the use of this hand yet. Hopefully, yet. So I thought this would be a perfect thing to allow me to be able to shift the bike in manual. I don't need it in automatic, but sometimes I do like to shift, you know, hills and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and install that, and then we'll go ahead and see how that works. It will not work with the skid plate, the Altrider skid plate, or the Altrider lower crash bar. So we've taken those off. We're going to go ahead and put this on. We'll put on the stock skid plate, and then we'll go ahead and see how this works. And if I like the way this is working, I may modify the Altrider skid plate, and I may modify the crash bar. But that really determines on the condition of my hand in the future, and also how this works for me. So we'll go ahead and get into it.
So this shifter goes right here, so you have to remove the lower crash bar, and it will not work with the lower crash bar. If I like the shifter and everything's fine with the shifter, then I may modify that. And then you also have to remove the skid plate, and it will not work with the aftermarket skid plates. And again, I can modify that too, but right now we're just going to check it out and see, make sure it's working the way we want it to work. So here are all your components of this shifter. So you got your mount that pretty much mounts right here. Then you have the shifting mechanism right here, which mounts somewhere up in here, like that. So anyways, we got our instructions downloaded. There's 10 pages, so it's pretty well done, and it should be a fairly simple thing. The only thing that you have to do is you have to take this off. They say disconnect the battery and then run that cable up, and then you have to come in here and remove this so that you can plug in up underneath here. There's a spot up here to plug in up underneath here. So we're going to go ahead and get prepped. We've already taken the crash bar off, and we've already taken the skid plate off, so we'll go ahead and get everything else removed that we need to, and we'll go ahead and get into it. So we'll see what happens on this. So, there's been a lot of debate on why would you need a foot shifter on an Africa Twin DCT when you have your paddle shifters. Well, besides it being just a fun kind of novelty thing to be able to shift here and not use the paddle shifters, some may find the paddle shifters uncomfortable and awkward, especially if you're if you're coming from a clutched motorcycle or riding, that may be the case. But it really comes in to people who are disabled. So currently, I recently had bicep tendon surgery on my left arm, and the surgery went really well, and it's healing really well. But unfortunately, I have a complication, which is very rare, which has left my left hand about, I'm going to say, 80% paralyzed currently. So I have no use. I have plenty of grip, so I can hold on tight, so I can hold on to the bike, and I have everything else I need for that. But I can't lift these fingers or the thumb. So that makes the paddle shifting not possible. So this really it's a game changer. If I was in a standard bike, I wouldn't be able to ride it. I would have to switch over to a DCT and so on. So DCT has its place, and it is helping me to be able to continue to ride. Now, whether this is permanent or not, I don't know. Time will tell. But I'm going to go ahead and try it so that I can ride now. And then if I find that I need it and I continue it, then I can do all my modifications. If I find that I don't need it, and I'm back to 100% or enough that I can operate the bike without the shifter, I may remove it or I may modify and keep it. Just we'll see. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get into this and see how it works out. All right, so we went ahead and removed this cover and removed this cover so we have access to everything here. We did disconnect the battery. Next we need to remove this guy. So we'll go ahead and do that next. All right, so we're removing this, and it says to save it. Just put that back there just so that we don't lose it. So they want us to remove this and discard it. Okay, so we got to cut that and discard it. All right, so next, this is the new stay. So this is what holds the harness in place, this existing harness. So we took out this bolt and now we're going to put that back in over there. And it looks like it's in this position right here like that. So let's go ahead and get that in. All right, so take this off. All right, so it shows it going like this. So pretty much right in there like that. So you can see that little tab right there. That wants to be kind of right there like that. So we push it down, we'll tighten it up, and then we'll go ahead and torque it down to 12 Newton. There we go, 12 Newton. Then it says this goes right in here like that. And then there's a zip tie that will hold that in place. So it's probably best to get the zip tie in place first. And then stuff that back in. Yeah, because it wants to go in there nice and tight. Kind of like that. All right, so we got that in. All right, so we went ahead and attached this mechanism to this bracket. And there's two bolts. One right there and one right there. We go ahead and Loctite that and put that on. All right, so getting this on is not easy, but then there's the cover right there. That looks about right. I don't see any other way. And then, because it's got to fit over this little tab right here. I don't know if you can see that. So then next we got to go ahead and fit this on. All right, so we got this all put together now. And we got the cover on and everything's bolted, Loctited, and we're going to go ahead and fit the arm on next and then probably install this. That's probably the last thing to do. So here's the arm. It's kind of small and odd, but we'll have to see how that works because it's kind of working backwards. It's working this way to where it's shifting up and down like this versus, So we'll just see. So I don't know if you can see, let's see if we go over here. I don't know if you can see, but there's two little pins right here, which are the pins to align this. So depending on how you want this, will depend on how that works. All right, so we've got this installed, and you don't really need to take this off to get it in there, but you do, well, you actually do, because you're never going to get that. This piece, this is the original, and then this is the one you've added to get it in between there. I think you really do need to take this off because so you want to do this part first before you tighten this up, because you can't get to that. Well, you can, but it's difficult to get to that guy right there. So now we're going to go ahead and route these the way that they show it, and it's going to go up underneath this guy right here. All right, so the plug that they're talking about is right here. So we got to pull this dummy off right here and then go ahead and plug this into over there. So that's going to be fun. All right, well, that was fairly easy. You can see you just push on this right here and it comes right off. All right, so we got the wire in there. way back in there. Probably the ones, the little colored ones you see right there. But that was really a pain. That's probably the hardest part of the whole job. So now we'll go ahead and route the cabling up through here and through here, and then we'll go ahead and do the hook the battery back up and do the startup sequence. All right, so we got the installation done. You can see it's got a nice little cover here, up, down. That should work. We'll have to initialize it. There's a little process you have to do, but I got my wiring up through there. It comes all up in there, and it's tucked back up underneath there. So, you know, I would say it's difficult for one hand, but it's a fairly easy job. Then next, once I get it initialized to make sure I don't have to do anything else, I'll go ahead and put the skid plate back on and see how that fits, and maybe kind of look at possibly what I would need to cut on the stock one, not the stock one, what I would need to cut on the Altrider to accommodate this, because I know that Altrider comes up pretty high over here and covers that. So we'll go ahead and get that on and call this done. All right, so we're going to do the registration. All right, so let's try this. 1, 2, 1. All right, so they are registering. Blink alternatively. All right, so they're blinking back and forth. So that should be it. We should be registered. All right, guys, Tony here, and we are going on our first ride since my surgery. And so really what's going on here is I don't have the use of this hand. I can hold on, but I can't really do the shifting. I can move up and down to things. I can't get the front brake, you know, the front rear brake. So we installed that quick shifter, not a quick shifter, we installed the DCT foot shifter, and we're going to go ahead and test it out and just get a feel on the bike. We haven't been on the bike for a good 2 months, maybe more, and I currently can't put a glove on because my hand's too swollen, and I just, you know, try putting a glove on without using your fingers. They just don't want to go where they need to go. So let's go ahead and do a ride and let's see how this goes. We're just going to take it easy. We'll probably end up going into a parking lot and seeing how that feels, get used to shifting and maneuvering and stopping, and then maybe a little ride. We'll see. But you know, if it weren't for the DCT, I would not be able to ride, because there's no way I could ride a manual with the hand in the condition that it is right now. But as you can see, I can put it on the on here fine and have plenty of grip. It's not as strong, so you know, I got to be careful and take it easy, because it's not as strong as the right hand, or however the left hand used to be. So we want to be careful there. But we'll just go into a parking lot here and see how things go. Hand's feeling pretty good. I mean, it's painful at times, but I think once I get the arm a little stronger, started my weight training and get the arm, I mean, the range is pretty good. I don't have full sublimation to where I can turn this hand over, but it's doing a lot better, so I can't complain there. So all right, so we're here in a parking lot. We're just going to give it a shot. We'll just do some basic maneuvering. We'll keep it in automatic for right now until we get comfortable. I have to learn how to brake again, because I'm so used to this left hand rear brake that I'm gonna have to start using that foot pedal. I've always had it there and I've used it, but I've really gotten used to the front pedal there. So we're gonna have to test out this shifter here. So we'll go ahead and stop here, and we're going to go ahead and put it into standard mode. All right, so now we're in standard mode, meaning, you know, manual. So let's give it a shot. Very nice, very smooth. Again, it's just muscle memory, remembering to, you know, how to shift again. That second, third, very nice. I think it's a winner, man. I like it. I like the position. It's not, I might adjust it, because I have it on the low, the higher position, so that it's
I can get my foot comfortably underneath it and easy enough to upshift, but that's beautiful right there. Plus, you know, right now I got my riding shoes on. I don't have my boots on, and that may be different with the boots on. But I think the biggest thing I'm going to have to learn how to do is get the braking, because I'm just so used to this. I don't typically ride in manual on the street. We're going to see whether the shifters will work, the paddle shifters, because I don't know if those have been disabled because you can only do one or the other, but we're going to find out here right now. Oh, they both work. Very nice. So with this foot shifter, you can do see, you can do all your shifting with the paddles, or you have the feet. So, which was really nice, because if you're like in some gnarly, you know, you're standing up and you're doing some gnarly stuff and you're just like, you're holding on for dear life, well, you can shift without having to fumble for the paddle shifters. Although I've never had that problem, but I could see how this is really gonna really be nice. So absolutely, I think that's a winner. We're gonna go ahead and take a spin here real quick, and then really just, you know, take it easy, because we don't want to put too many, you know, I have to learn how to ride again, pretty much, you know. So I want to be able to go on rides again while I'm healing, but I don't want to push it. So we're going to put it back into drive, so we can just concentrate on riding. So turn signals are going to be a problem to get used to, that is. So as you can see over here, I can go ahead and put my turn signal on, I can turn it off, but I have to rest my hand back here. So, you know, if I want to put a turn signal on, I got to use my finger like that, and then I can, you know, once I'm there, I can push on it to disengage it. But it's going to take some learning and getting used to. Same thing with the horn. I'm going to have to get used to the horn. That's a loud horn. That's that Denali Powerbomb air horn. Definitely better than the little me, that's for sure. But yeah, it feels so good to be back on the bike. It's just, I've been waiting for this day for probably 9 weeks now, since the last ride I did after I tore my bicep tendon. I plan on taking the bike out pretty much every day that I can, and just doing really easy riding, just again to get that muscle memory of the rear brake and the combinations and so on, and just the basic functions that I need to have. We'll probably just go up here and turn around, because I still have a few things to look at on the bike to make sure everything's fine. So I'm trying to get ready for a ride for next weekend, if the weather's good. You know, it's tough because I can't wear a glove on my left hand. So if it's really cold out, there's no way I'm going to be able to ride. I do have heated grips, but that's only going to go so far. Everything else is there. Balance is there. All that coordination is really there. I'm going to have to really see how my endurance is too, because, you know, this left arm isn't really that strong right now, and yeah, I can rest it, so I can take it and rest it and ride with just the right hand, no problem. Even in manual, because I do have, so it's like right there, I just downshifted using the left hand, and I can easily, you know, downshift with the foot shifter. So I'm very impressed with the foot shifter. I think it's a trade-off, because you're going to give up some stuff. So what I'm giving up by having the foot shifter is I'm giving up my lower crash bar which again I could modify. And I'm giving up my skid plate, which I probably will modify. But until I, get this shaken down and everything, I'm gonna leave it as is for now with the stock skid plate for right now. Yeah, and the poor bike's been sitting for 2 months. I did have it on a charge, so that's cool. It is cold out. I mean, it's 69 degrees. Again, I wasn't really prepared to go for anything more than just around the block and see how that goes. But yeah, I'm very hopeful, I guess would be the word, that I'm going to be able to get back into riding. I don't know about the hard enduro stuff, but as things progress and I get better and so on, then there will be some dirt roads and stuff like that. The one thing that I can't ride alone, because if I get in a situation where I drop the bike and I don't have help, there's no way I'm going to be able to pick it up. So we'll go ahead and put it into manual, and we'll go ahead and ride it home this way. See how that works. Yeah, it feels super good. Yeah, shifter. That is super nice. For you guys, you want that feel of shifting. The only difference is you ain't pulling in the clutch, but you still have all control of the gears you want to be on with this the foot shifter. Be a little more sporty. Just you got to remember, for those of you who are used to the clutch, you don't let off the gas. You stay on the gas even when you downshift. Yeah, it's just all about retraining the body and the mind to do what it's not used to doing.